Okay, hi guys. So before I start, let me just say that with God, all things are possible. Right? So welcome to Creative Writing Masterclass Words of Life. And this is an extension of primary school masterclass where the aim is to impact and improve the online educational experience of primary school students. Okay, so today is a special day because we are going to do a story time by a student. Today is student story time. So let's look at who's going to tell our story today. And that is Arianna Mansook. So student story time with Arianna Mansook. So let's take a look at Arianna's story right now. Great. So our topic. The topic is write a story which includes the following line. I crept slowly down the dark hallway, following the strange sound. You may include these details. 1. The place with the dark hallway where you heard the strange sound. 2. The sequence of events that led to the strange sound. And 3. The outcome of the situation. So let's get into this story. Crash bang. So the immediate use of onomatopoeia. I really like that. It grabs my attention immediately. Okay. And we are immediately into these 5 senses. Recall that the 5 senses are sight, sound, hearing, smell, and taste. So I like the beginning already. What I want to look out for, what I'm really interested in, is whether or not this first sentence is an attention grabber. Is it an attractive sentence? It is an interesting sentence. And quite frankly, this sentence is going to dictate whether I am interested in reading the rest of the story or not. So let's take a look at this sentence. Thunder roared as lightning danced across the midnight sky, illuminating the pitch black room. I like it. I love it. I like it. So we have thunder roaring, which is continuing with the sense of sound. We have now the introduction with the sense of sight now, right? Where it's dancing across the midnight sky. So personification is included there. And I also like the oxymoronic nature of the sentence. So we have light against dark. So opposites here in this first sentence. So a lot of elements in this first sentence, really, really good, really good opening sentence. I want to know more. So I think the first sentence has achieved its goal in being enticing to the reader to read more. The howling wind blew the crackling branches. I like the use of howling wind, use of personification immediately, your literary devices, blew the crackling branches, very descriptive, very good, causing them to scrape eerily against the window pane. Now, the use of personification twice is very, very good. It brings, it creates a setting of the story, strong setting in the story, and you really need to do that in your first paragraph or your second paragraph. But the first paragraph, to do it in the first paragraph is excellent. It really gives a sense of fear and horror in the story, well, terror in the story. And you can imagine a dark, stormy night and branches are scraping against a window. It's very, very eerie. And nice use of the word eerie as an adjective. Your spelling is very good. Very good. Let's continue. The chirping of crickets deafened my ears. That's interesting. Normally chirping of crickets would be quiet and kind of in the background, but it's deafening your ears. So I like the use of the oxymoron here. Okay. And the pitter patter, a use of alliteration is great. Pitter patter, PP, very good here. Of raindrops brushed against the apple green lawn. Good description here. Making a delightful aroma. So another oxymoron here with respect to having something that is normally associated with a whimsical or an enjoyable environment with a delightful aroma. I like how it's against the dark setting of the storm. I guess it's the smell of cut grass. I think that's what you were going for. You know, when you freshly cut the grass, it has a certain smell. But the reason for writing this is excellent because you have the sense of sound, you have the sense of sight, and now you have the sense of smell. So this paragraph, the first paragraph is really, really good. I want to know more about the story. Suddenly, so good transitional words here. Suddenly, remember, I do not want to see this again because every other student knows the word suddenly, and you need to be ahead of them. So another transitional word would be needed if you want to use the word suddenly again. Don't use the word suddenly twice. Everybody knows that word. You need to stand out, okay? The wailing of a baby emanated in the distance. Wailing of a baby, normally I would like an adjective here in front of the noun baby, but because the writing is so descriptive, it's quite all right. Good use of the word emanated. Emanated or emanating, it basically means coming. So you don't need to use the word coming. Emanated is more mature, and you use it very well here. Use it very well here in this context. Curiosity got the better of me, comma. Right. So I decided to investigate. Right. So when I was correcting this, you missed out this comma as well, and I put it in for you. Okay. But you need to have your commas in place. The reason being is because think about it like this. If somebody gives you a compliment and when they stop talking, that is when you are going to receive the compliment. Okay. But you know, if I say you have a nice smile, somebody tells you you have a nice smile. When they stop talking, that is when you're going to receive that compliment. But if somebody tells you you have a nice smile, what is the time now? And they just say those two phrases very quickly, you're not going to get a chance to receive that compliment. So as creative artists, when we are writing, our canvas is a blank page, but when you're dealing with sound, our canvas is silent, right? So those commas are going to give your story emphasis. So I'm going to pause. So let me show you how I'm going to read it. Curiosity got the better of me. So I decided to investigate. That's how I'm going to read it. Okay. So you were missing that comma there, but I put it in for you. Okay. Continuing. I removed my cozy blanket. I guess it's the sense of touch here, and rose out of my comfortable bed. So great. So this sentence is achieving the sense of touch in the story. So we have 4 senses so far in the story. Very good. Stealthily, I like that adverb, you spelled it right. I tiptoed across the carpeted floor and approached should be A-P-P-O. Window. With shaky, sweaty hands, I turned the freezing cold, dark knob, and the door creaked open. Okay? Hello, is anybody here? I queried. I'm glad that you're using your quotation marks, which is going to be common for your language arts exam in the SEA. So the fact that you use it here correctly is really good. I crept slowly down the dark hallway, following the strange sound. Okay, so we have achieved this sentence here. I like how you wrote it actually in the middle of the story. Some people would kind of do the easy way out and write this as the first line, but I'm really, really impressed that you could use it in the middle of the story. So great job. I crept slowly down the dark hallway, following the strange sound. With each footstep, it grew louder. Good. In the blink of an eye, a robust, 8-foot tall silhouette emerged out of the ominous gloom. So I put in the commas here for you, right, to show you where it should be. I think before you had in the blink of an eye, a robust 8-foot tall silhouette emerged out of the ominous gloom. It's too wordy and you need to have those pauses for emphasis. Okay, so this is how you write it. Very good use of the word silhouettes. I'm glad that you know that word. I didn't know that you knew that word, but great job. And you spelled it correctly. I always tell you guys, remember, do not use a word if you can't spell it. Also, if you want to use a word and you like that word, you need to know how to spell that word. But good. emerge out of the ominous gloom. I like how you put emerge out as opposed to coming out, okay, or came out. Good. Ominous room or ominous gloom. I like how you use ominous gloom. It's good. It's 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 a difference, and it has a good effect on your writing. So your writing is very mature here. I love this second paragraph. Continuing on. Also, I don't want to see the word suddenly again. Hope I don't see it again. Continuing on, the monster's body muscles bulge out of its dirty, white, tattered clothes. Okay, good. Its beady, bloodshot eyes. Sorry, I didn't read that correctly. This is how it should be read. Its beady, bloodshot eyes gazed into my teary eyes as they displayed razor-sharp teeth. Good. Very descriptive. Very, very descriptive. Great. It had pointed horns, a tail, and a pitchfork covered in ruby red blood. Okay. A long, flowing, scruffy beard cascaded down its chest like a waterfall. I love this. I love this. Cascaded down its chest like a waterfall. That's true. So I like how you use a shorter paragraph dedicated towards the description, the character description of the monster, which is really, really good. You dedicated an entire paragraph for character description of the monster. Okay, so very, very good. I have nothing to say about this sentence, this paragraph, sorry. It's really good. Okay, my hair stood erect at the back of my neck and goosebumps covered my entire body. Nice, nice. Violently, okay, use of adverbs to start a sentence as a transitional word, really good. Violently, steaming, hot hands wrapped around my bony neck. Okay. So we have the sense of touch again. My fingernails grated the laminated floorboards like a block of cheese. Very interesting. I could see that happening. You know, when you take a block of cheese and you scrape it, you could get an indentation. I can see that. Great. Good, good, good. It sounds really like a scary story or scary movie. Screaming louder than a freight train. Okay, good. So I like the metaphor there. Louder than a freight train. That's nice. So we have literary devices of metaphor included here. The monster strapped me down with its cool metallic grip. Cool metallic, because metals do get very cool when they are cool. The metals do get very cool. Onto a pentagram on the floor. Okay, so this pentagram here is a little bit too graphic. I think that you obviously look at some horror movies before, but do it include pentagram? Some teachers may not like that. It's a little too graphic, right? So this is a little bit too creative. I know it's creative writing we're doing, but it's a little bit too creative, right? So try not to write that pentagram stuff again. But this paragraph is really good. So I would expect to get to the climatic moment, right? Because all this is rise in action. To my utter horror, next paragraph, the creature built a ball of red and orange flames. My heart beat violently against my ribcage. Okay, good. A classic description, heart beating violently against a ribcage. A lot of students know that. Good. I felt as though it would burst out of my chest. It would be really, really good if you had an exclamation mark here. Because it's a personal thing you're going through here and it's very, very traumatic. So put an exclamation mark for more writing, right? Quivering like a leaf. I like that synonym as opposed to shaking or trembling. I breathe heavily as a hurricane. Okay, so we have similes now. We have a use of a simile now. Great. So you are writing those literary devices. Excellent work. Huge beads of perspiration trickled down my spine. I think every primary school student knows that line, and it's a classic one, and you should know it. And if you want to use it, by all means, go ahead and use it. It's good. Unexpectedly, great. So as opposed to putting suddenly, unexpectedly is a good replacement, a good synonym for that transitional word. Good. The beast rose the heavy scorching ball of flames. I would write a comma there. Unexpectedly, the beast rose the heavy, scorching ball of flames into the air. Ball of flames, comma. Into the air and attempted to pierce it into the middle of my chest. All right. Unexpectedly, listen to the comma, listen to the use of the pauses, right? The beast rose, the heavy, scorching ball of flames, into the air and attempted to pierce it in the middle of my chest. Ah, I screamed at the top of my lungs. So I guess this is the climatic sentence here, where the beast wanted to, and nice word, beast here as opposed to monster, right? It wanted to attack you, and this is the point of contact where it's trying to make physically touch you here. So I guess this is the climatic moment here. This paragraph is good. I am expecting to see fall in action right now. Okay, honey, wake up, Arianna. My loving mother called out to me as she cradled me in her soft, comfortable arms. Okay, definite fall in action, great here. Quickly, my eyes flew open and I elevated my torso against my damp pillow in sweat and other bodily fluids. I guess tears. I tightly hugged my mom. All right, here, all right. I would wish that sentence is just tightly hug my mom. I'll tell her why later on when I look at the evaluation, right? And then, yeah, quickly my eyes flew open and I elevated my torso against my damp pillow in sweat and other bodily fluids. Just dedicate an entire sentence, a shorter sentence for emphasis. Short sentences create danger and more focus and more emphasis to the reader, okay? Good. So I guess this is the concluding paragraph. Yeah. A tsunami of relief washed over me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right? Tsunami spelled it correctly, washed over me. Good imagery. Good. That moment, I thought that I was going to die, but thankfully, it was all just a nightmare. Okay, so you need to know how to use the dream sequence and you need to know how to not use the dream sequence. You use it here and okay, it's applicable and it works. So good. Without warning. I put in without warning here because you had suddenly, and I never want to see that twice in a story. So I included without warning. You could also use unexpectedly at a moment's notice or in this moment, just don't use suddenly twice. Okay, because everybody else, every other student is going to do that. Or most, okay? A rattle floated through the open window. A rattle floated through the open window and fell to the floor. What is this, like poltergeist? Mom and I looked into each other's eyes, each other's teary eyes in fright. And before you had, I know this is the correction, but before you had 3 dots there, and what you're trying to say is that something else happened to cause the scary dream. And I really don't like it because you kind of put in the reader, you're leaving the reader hanging, basically, right? And I don't like that. You want to conclude your essay? Conclude your essay, right? So just say it was a scary dream. You're happy. You should not have watched a scary movie, you know, but don't leave the reader hanging, at least not now, right? So let's look at the evaluation. To purpose and organization, have you done the task instructed? Yes, I think you included your sentence. Let's just look at the tasks involved. I crept slowly down the dark hallway following the strange sound. You did include that sentence. The place where the dark hallway where you heard the strange sound, you did include that. The sequence of events that led to the strange sound, you included that. The outcome of the situation. You kind of didn't do that. I mean, you did conclude, but it's not a confirmed conclusion, you know. So no dot, dot, dot at the end of your stories, please. But just conclude it and put that story down, put that story to bed, right? So let's just have a full stop there. All right, continuing with the evaluation. Did you express your description with the 5 senses? Great. So I think you had 4 to the 5, which isn't bad. You had sight, sound, taste, not taste. You had sight, sound, touch, and smell. Normally, if you really want to put in taste and you'd already have food in your stories, probably you could say the taste of sweat, you know, if it's a scary story. You know, you could taste the sweat on your skin, you know, something like that to increase the taste. There's an option there. But having 4 to 5 senses is really good. Does your opening sentence get the reader interested? Yes, it did. It's very, very interesting. So good job with that. Is your last sentence a clear ending? I don't think it was as clear as it could be. I think you could have put the story to bed and make a more confirmed conclusion. Okay. So continuing on, so let's look at language. Did you use interesting vocabulary? Yes, you did. There was a lot of mature words, tsunami, pentagram was mature. You use cascading like a waterfall. So, and silhouette. So a lot of mature words there. Did you use the correct verb tense? Consistency. Yes, I'm very happy with this. The entire story was in past tense and there was not a mixture of present and past. So that was really, really good. Have you used literary devices such as similes, metaphors to spark the reader's interest? Similes, yes. Metaphors, yes. Personification, yes. Oxymoron, yes. Alliteration, yes. Okay, so alliteration, I believe, was pitter patter. So very good. Very, very good. Style. Did you use a mixture of simple, compound, and complex sentences? Are your sentences different lengths? All right, so let me show you. Normally in your story where you're writing the climatic moment, you could write shorter sentences to create a sense of danger and importance to your writing. So listen to this very carefully. Quivering like a leaf, right? Or you just write, I quivered like a leaf, full stop. I breathed heavily as a hurricane, full stop. Huge beads of perspiration trickled down my spine, full stop. It rose up, full stop. It looked at me, full stop. I was ready to run, full stop. So those short, quick sentences create a more sense of danger, right? I screamed at the top of my lungs, full stop. I was petrified, full stop. I was terrified, full stop. You know, so those short sentences, as opposed to the longer sentences, need to have a mixture. And those short sentences can be used in the paragraph with your climatic statement. Okay, back to the evaluation. Good. So are your sentences different lengths? That's an option you could do. Right? Are your transitional words the same? I fixed it. I think you used suddenly twice, but you use a lot of adverbs, which was good. So your transitional words were good so far in the story. Right, spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Have you used a range of punctuation, including commas, exclamation marks, and quotation marks? Yes, you did. Very, very happy with the quotation marks because that is going to appear in your language arts exam. Exclamation marks, I just put in 1 or 2 there to create more emphasis, but you need to work on your commas because your commas are going to create pauses and therefore emphasis on your writing, and it's there to list. So if you're writing the descriptions, the strong, comma, muscular, comma, terrifying, and dangerous silhouette emanated from the ominous gloom. You know, so those commas really are there to create some more emphasis and pauses in your writing because this story was a very, very a story based on fear. So you really want to get that emotional writing down. How is your spelling? The spelling was good, really, really good. I'm really happy with the spelling in this story. Your sentences make sense. Are they grammatically correct? Good. Yes, they did. Did they make sense? Your subject verb agreements was good. Have you missed any words? I don't think you did, because sometimes when you write it, you just miss out a word, or you write a word twice, like the, but I don't think that was a problem here. But you need to do it to check over your writing, right? Are the verbs agreeing with their subjects? With their subjects. Is that how you spell the word there? No. Good. Are the verbs agreeing with their subjects? Yes, they are agreeing with their subjects. Continuing on with the, okay, corrections now. So these are the things you need to work on. So punctuation, you need to revise your commas, right? And grammar, transitional words need to be revised. Okay, so you need to have a greater range of transitional words with which you can use in your story writing. Also, I would say that, I like this butterfly. I would say that you could work on these shorter sentences for more emphasis to create a more sense of danger in your writing. But all in all, it's a really, really good story. You would have gotten marks definitely from, I would say 17 to 20 or 18 to 20, but where you would have lost marks would be your lack of punctuation with the commas and the structure of the story, where you didn't really give a confirmed conclusion. So when you're concluding the story, put the story to bed, put the story to rest, and make a confirmed conclusion. Don't leave the reader hanging, right? So that is my review of this story. It's a really good story. So this has been Creative Writing Masterclass, bringing words to life, which is an extension of primary school masterclass, right? And if you want to find out more about primary school masterclass, this is the information listed below. And I hope that this was informative and educational. And have a great day, guys. God bless you.